Let me show you the easiest way to draft a pattern for a back cowl neckline. So these are my pattern pieces. I have a video on how to draft the pattern for a front cowl neck. It's here on this channel. I'm going to pin a comment in this video on how to draft a pattern for a front cowl neck. So here are my basic bodice. This is the back bodice and this is the front bodice. I'm going to work with the front bodice first before going over to the back bodice, which is the reason for this video. I'm going to do a dart rotation now in a rushed video, so just watch. So here it is. I have gone ahead and rotated my dart, thereby increasing the width of our dart. So next thing I'm going to do is just to go ahead and continue with my neckline. So from the tip of my shoulder here, I'm just going to go ahead and measure 2 inches, which I have done here. And then from this point here, I'm going to increase the depth by 1 inch. You can make it deep. It doesn't matter. Make it as deep as you want. That's fine. But this is how I want mine to be. Remember that if you follow the contour guideline, it doesn't matter how deep your front neckline is, it's not going to gape. And because it's a sleeveless dress, I'm going to contour the armhole area like this. I'll go ahead and measure 1/2 inch like this. Then use my ruler and connect it to the waistline. Then trim it off. And this is it for the front. So this here is our back, and this is the center back as indicated. We have a dart here that we're going to close. I'm just going to go ahead now and rotate the dart at the shoulder to the armhole. I'll do it quickly. So here it is. I have gone ahead and rotated the dart, and this is what we have. It has increased the size of our armhole area. Next, I'm going to contour the side because it is a sleeveless dress, and I don't want a situation where the armhole would gape. As a result, I'm going to contour it just like I did the front. At this point here, I'm going to measure 1/2 inch, just like I did with the front bodice. Using a straight line, I will then go ahead and connect it to the waist and trim off with a scissors. Now we can continue with our dart rotation. So we're going to close this increase at the armhole area. To do so, first I'll slash this line. But before I'm able to slash the line and get what I want, I'm also going to have to slash the dot line here. This is so I'll be able to rotate and move the basic bodice parts as required. So I'm going to slash very close to the line, but not exactly at the line. Just enough for me to be able to work with. See? Next thing I'll do is just turn it over and slash this other line. This line here connects to the front bodice as well. It's like the armhole line, a guide when drafting your pattern. So I'm going to slash it but not completely off. I'll leave it, this is what I'm going for. It's not completely off. And this is going to enable me close my dart at the waist area. If it's not lapping properly, it means I need to slash some more, but be careful not to cut it off. So you see, now I'll be able to close my waist dart around the waist area, and that's it for that part. Okay, so I'm going to now go ahead and create my my slash lines. You can go ahead and create multiple slash lines, but I would create only one and add to the one I already have. This is because I want to go ahead and close the dot at the, or close the extension at the armhole area. Here what I did was just to mark the 4-inch mark I did earlier to be able to get a straight line, which is what I did. Next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and slash this line. Next thing is I'll make the armhole kiss and put it back like it was before. Then use a tip and hold it down. At this point, ensure that it doesn't lap. It should just kiss. And then you hold it down with a tip. We just put it in back to how it was before. Now you can see that the center back has opened automatically, but because we want to slash it to be, we want to spread it to be wider than this, we're going to slash the tip that we just used to hold the armhole area. We'll slash it towards the end, but just enough to hold the pieces together, and that's it. Next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and place a brown paper under and spread it accordingly. At the shoulder area, I have already marked 2 inches from the tip of the shoulder. Next thing I'm going to do is just to go ahead and draw this curve that connects to the 2 inches at the shoulder. There's no standard measurement for it, and I do in fact need the neckline. I just need a guide. So the depth is up to you. You can just draw whatever it is you want. I only needed a guide, and it's the reason why I just used this. But of course, the front shoulder and the back shoulder has to match, hence the 2-inch mark, and that's it. So here it is. I have gone ahead and placed the brown paper and on the table. This part of the brown paper here is just going to represent my center back line. I'll hold it down accordingly like this with a tip. I'll do the same thing to the side so it doesn't move while I work. Now I'm going to spread my upper bodice as I wish. The more the spread, the more the drip. But I'm just going to go ahead and do mine at 5 inches, between 3 and 5 inches. So I have decided to work with 3.5 inch. I'm just going to measure it like this, and I hold it down with a tip. Now move over to the other side like this, and then measure 2.5 inch for this other one, and then hold it down with a tip like this. So using a straight line, I'm just going to connect it to my new center back, which is the edge of the brown paper, like this. Okay, so from the tip of the shoulder, remember what I measured earlier and I marked. So from that tip of the shoulder there, that's the 2-inch I initially marked. I'm going to measure another 2-inch upwards like this. Then using a straight line, I'm going to connect the 2 inches together. This is to serve as facing for the back. Remember, it's dripped, so it's just going to serve. It's going to serve as a facing for the back. Okay, this dress has no zipper at the center back. We're just going to draw it so it's normal, like we're sewing a front without a zipper. Connect with a straight line, and this is what you have. Next thing I'll do is I'll use a tracing wheel and trace out the shape of the pattern as it is like this on the paper. So after tracing, this is what I have as my final pattern for the back. Next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and cut it on a fabric. I'll show you how to cut it on a fabric. Stay tuned. So this is a fabric from the previous project. Now this front here is going to be cut on a straight grain. So the fabric is just going to be folded on a straight grain, which I have done. I have also added allowance as it is required of me, and now I'm going to cut. Because the back is a draped back and a cowl neckline, we're going to have to fold our fabric in a bias grain. I told you earlier that folding in a triangular form means folding in a bias grain. So this is what we have. Okay, I'm going to turn it over so you'd see it clearly and better. So, and then we'll continue working. So I'm just going to go ahead and pin my pattern to the fabric, add allowances, and then cut. Remember I told you that the center back has no zipper. The zipper is going to be by the side. So I'm just going to go ahead and pin, add allowances, and then come back and show you what I have. So here it is. I've gone ahead and added the allowances where necessary, and now I'm going to cut. So here are the pieces. In the next video, I'm going to show you how I'm going to stitch everything together and even attach a side zipper. Stay tuned.